I'm going to have to watch something happy before I go to bed. And that doesn't happen to me hardly ever. Hi everybody, I'm Star from the Horror Cat Super Show. I just got back from watching Undertone, and I just wanted to give you a couple of my thoughts so you would know what I was thinking while I was watching this film. So this is a debut film for Ian Toussaint, and what a great one right out of the gate. And I love how it's listed as an auditory horror film, a psychological horror film that is heavily using audio as its main tension builder. It follows a girl who has a paranormal podcast called Undertone with a friend. She is doing it in her house while her mother is ill and in the house with her. She's actually in hospice because she's really close to dying. And her partner receives this email that's got all of these audio files in it, and they begin to unravel the story of what these files are. In the process, she's going through some life stuff, so that's also a big component of what the movie is about. I think the first thing right off the bat I want to say is that this reminded me a lot of Paranormal Activity, basically in its kind of setup. Events that happen, there's a recording that happens, it's very similar to that in tone. The beginning is definitely a slow burn. It starts to pick up pretty well, and I don't mind films like that. If there is a really good payoff or it's taking me to somewhere, it's progressing, then yes, I don't have a problem with it being a slow burn in the beginning. As it starts to ramp up, what's happening is your imagination is really getting the best of you through the audio. There is a lot of silence in this film. There is a lot of darkness, so there'll be like just black screen, and they play everything backwards, so it sounds super creepy, and you're listening to these things, and as you're listening to it, she's writing down stuff, and you're like, am I really hearing that, or am I making that up? And I'm listening to try to hear something, and I'm like, is it saying these words, or am I just imagining this? But I think that's the power of that, is that it's half of it is suggestive, and are you really hearing it? Are you not really hearing it? Your mind really starts playing tricks on you, which I think is kind of what this movie was really about. The same way that Skinamarink had me just scaring myself, basically. And I felt like that's what this movie did. I mean, as far as the plot and the storyline itself, it's just a basic, simple story, but it's done really well in that everything that you're hearing is starting to mess with your mind, just like it's starting to mess with hers in the story. There really is an element of tension, and the more the tension builds, I was seriously giddy giggling because it was hitting all of those right spots for me. I thought the pacing was well done. I wasn't ever really bored. You're really getting to know her and what's going on in her life and what she's dealing with. This movie is about grief and guilt and shame as well. And I love when a movie can put all of those things together and not be preachy. The ending, as far as the ending goes, I'll be honest, it left me kind of okay. Without giving anything away, everything really kind of culminates at the end where you're getting the visual plus the audio. It's really taking you home. Those couple of lines at the end, I was kind of like, okay, but I've enjoyed myself the entire film, so I'm not going to complain about that really. All right, so let's break it down into categories. If you are a scaredy cat, this one is going to scare the bejesus out of you. You're going to be spilling popcorn and everything all over the place. I think this is going to be a good, solid tension scare. You're going to be covering your eyes. You're going to be moving around and squirming. If you're a horror cat like myself, I think this one's going to be fun for you. I think you might even have the same experience that I did, where you kind of get giddy. You're like, all right, let's see what's happening. And you kind of just going along for the ride. It definitely won't be wasted money for you. I think you're definitely going to enjoy it and appreciate that this is really a film based in audio. And I love that for this film, because those kind of films, I really feel like you spend the whole time scaring yourself. And it is whatever you want it to be. It is whatever you're thinking of in your mind. The way the shot is framed, you'll see her here, and then there's all of this dark space behind, and you are waiting for something to come out. A shadow, you're waiting, and you're just looking like, did I see something? I'm waiting to see a face come out. I'm waiting to see something. And I think that's half the fun, is that you're scaring yourself the entire time. It's better than anything you could actually see on camera. And for you savage Hellcats out there, I think you might be able to appreciate that tension that's getting built, but you might really feel that Paranormal Activity kind of rehash. I'm not a big fan of Paranormal Activity on a whole. Not really a ghosty, so that really didn't do it for me. If you're into that, if you're into the spooky, the paranormal, the ghost story, the things that go bump in the night, is it really there? Is it not really there? I think you'll enjoy it. There is no gore in here. And if you think the audio scares are too gimmicky, this might not be something that you will appreciate. As far as myself, 1 out of 5, I actually gave this a 4. The reason I gave it a 4 is because it did the job. I was tense. I enjoyed myself. I definitely would recommend that you go check it out. Take a scaredy cat. It's going to make the experience even better watching them squirm the entire time. Scariest film we'll see all year? Let's see. I think it's off to a pretty good start compared to some of the other movies that have been released this year. Alrighty guys, let me know down below if you have seen this. What do you think? No spoilers, please. Thanks for watching, and until next time, shiver, scream, repeat. Bye.
Tell everyone you know to come on down to the Horror Cat Super Show.